I love that
Hi,
opening. Hi, Wilder. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. How about you? I'm doing
I'm doing well.
wonderful.
Perfect little
Oh,
segment in there.
almost missed the opportunity. Dang.
So, in case you can't tell, this is our 4th of July spectacular. So, happy birthday to America. Um, 4th of July is represented in comic books, in so many different fan films, different movies, different aspects of geek culture all over the place. So happy 4th of July, everybody out there. Um, Wilder, of
Happy
course,
4th of July.
you are dressed up as Wonder Woman, which completely embodies the uh, red, white, and blue.
Yeah, so yesterday I was trying to read some comic books uh that were patriotic. So I had something to talk about and I realized I was strictly basing them off of whose costumes had stars and were red and blue and yup. So that's I didn't get through very many though. I don't have a I read plenty during the day. It's just in small chunks. I read this one that was about World War II. It was okay. And then I read America Chavez because like her name is America. Like let me see. And while it definitely had some patriotic moments in it, I didn't really get into it. It's probably one I'll sell on eBay. I'm just like, eh. I loved her in Doctor Strange.
Yeah, yeah,
Punching holes
yeah.
for America.
I, of course, am, as always, rocking the Superman. I was contemplating doing the Darth Vader this week, but
For
I
your
don't know.
to wear for your shirt for the 4th of July, you're going to wear Darth Vader. Where's the patrioticism in that?
Imperial Empire takeover.
No, but we were the rebels. We
I
defeated the
agree.
Empire.
I agree. That's why I went against it.
Oh, okay. Good choice. Good choice.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. But that's how I got my little Superman mug. This was actually given to me by my daughter for Father's Day. It says, "My dad is Superman."
Oh, my friend gave me this one for my birthday. Is obviously it's Captain America.
Nice.
It's
Nice. I love
It's a little too big for my cupboard though. But I was like, oh, it's America Day. Let's do it on here.
it. That looks, is that like sticking out from the cup? I mean, is it like, wow. Yeah.
Yeah, it sticks out a good chunk.
Yeah, I can tell. I guess you
But
could
it
protect
looks
the
cool.
it looks very cool. It looks very, very cool. I love it. Captain America is a
It's my
great,
morning tea.
great embodiment of idealistic American values. Um,
Justice and faith that the system will work to take care of the bad guys. And if injustice showed us anything, it was that clearly the system didn't work for everybody.
but he also has loyalty, kindness, empathy. Um, he's very
He can
progressive
pick up
in his.
the hammer.
He can. He is worthy enough to pick up Mjolnir. Absolutely. Um, he also doesn't give up, even when everything is against him. He doesn't give up. I
Which
like
is why
Captain
he was
America
chosen.
in that.
See,
Uh,
I mean, I like Captain America well enough as like a person, He's a good hero. I find him kind of boring most of the time. I'm not big on like, I don't read a lot of like war books that are like straight up about the war with all the military terms and stuff. A lot of his comic books are like that. And a lot of his not, so the newer ones diversify a little more, but the older ones, not only are they very war, they're older. So I have a harder time reading the older ones because they're just so derogatory towards women. And I usually try and take it with a grain of salt. Like if it has a good story, I get it. It's the time period. Like I'm not being judgy. I just don't enjoy things that are overly like clearly I was not their target audience for those older ones. But now they've brought me into the fold. So
That's true. I think the Marvel Cinematic Universe really brought justice to Captain America. I think they really showed who he was in that a lot of naivety. He was completely naive to a lot of things and trying to work through on things. But in the end, it was him and Tony that were like the embodiment of the entire universe, really. It came down to those two, and fitting that they fought each other in Civil War.
I I liked how not all the time, but most of the time, even when they had those opposing views, because they were definitely set up to be opposing, they both still understood that the other one had the best for the country in mind. I think it's a really good example, especially for nowadays with how divided we are, that you can completely disagree on something, but you have to remember it's about intention. Both of their intentions were the people. They just disagreed on how to get there. And
Agreed.
then they decided, then they got in a big fight. But then Iron Man got to say, Underoos! And that's my favorite line. Because then Spider Man comes in. He's just hilarious. He's just like apologizing the whole time. Sorry, sorry, sorry. You're so cool. I love you.
Agreed.
I'm gonna miss that
Agreed. It
Spider
was,
Man because now he's had enough stuff happen to him that he's gonna be jaded now. So he's not gonna be like this cute little innocent kid who doesn't, who still has his rose-colored glasses on. I feel like those have shattered.
but that's the evolution of it. I mean, you go from a kid in high school with superpowers to seeing the end of, well, half the population, or you're included in half the population disappearing, to come back to seeing all this destruction and losing so many different people. I mean, Spider-Man's had to grow up. Spider-Man, yet another great American story. Boy from New York, you know, uh, growing up with superpowers, trying to figure out life. I think that holds a lot of embodiment for who our teenagers are and who we were as teenagers. Those geek natures that just couldn't figure it out. We just couldn't do the whole do it again, flip, flip, flip.
uh, well, that's what I like about a lot of the cartoons for Spidey is that they can keep him in that bubble of innocence still, which is definitely something I'm trying to do with my own kid. I'm like, look, I know there's a lot of stuff going on in the world right now, but you know what? You don't need to worry about that. Let's just be a kid, be happy. Because so many kids now stress out about everything that they're seeing on the news, and like, go read a comic book. Let's give
Yes.
them a bunch of comic books. She loves comic books so much. She took my Bombshells one
Nice.
and she started reading that, but she lost interest. But she started it.
Nice.
She's more of a superhero girls, DC, and Ladybug and Cat Noir.
Yep. We got the Ladybug and
She's still
Cat
down.
Noir here too.
I got real
Yeah.
into that show for a little, well, not like on my own, but watching it with other small humans. I definitely got it. I was like, are they gonna get together or not? What is this waiting and never happening crap?
Why do they can't figure out who is who? They know who is who. Come on, it's right there. It's obvious.
Especially because they had the episode where they found out who was who. Wow. I don't know how many of our listeners have kids and understand what we're talking about, but if you know, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
You get way too into kid shows, okay?
I- it has a great message to it, but I love the art in it. I love um, all the different outfits and the costumes and the Kiwanis and just changings, and even the villain is a fantastic villain in that. Like, yeah, my daughter loves it. So definitely
What's into it?
cat noir fans.
Whoop, whoop.
All right.
Let's
So
see. So
then
we
let's take
have
the.
what?
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Uh, so we see. We've said Spider Man, Captain America. You mentioned Superman. We didn't really talk about Superman though. How does he embody America? Probably in a lot of the same ways that Captain America.
So Superman landed in Kansas, right in the middle of the country in farmland,
Yeah.
Kansas. He grew up a farm boy in a place called Smallville. I mean, you want to talk about growing up in the middle of nowhere doing stuff as a teenager with superpowers. That had to be rough because you don't have that release of everything. But grew up with
It's the American dream.
he grew up with those, middle America values. And I appreciate that aspect of him. Hard work pays off. Taking care of your family, loyalty above everything. And then he moves to Metropolis and becomes a journalist. Okay. I mean, that's like the most opposite thing you can do, but he does it. He meets Lois Lane. I mean, Superman is the embodiment of grow up with family, grow up, get a job, get married, and save the world.
See, I like you don't have to be American to have American good old American values, Boy Scout. But he was
So very good.
how old was he when he found out he was from space? He was like a or is it different depending on what you're reading?
Yeah,
Because in Smallville, what he was like early, late, mid-teen, he was in his teens somewhere,
no, he
or
was
was
in
he
high
like eight?
school. He
He
was
was in high
in high
school, yeah.
school when yeah.
I don't know how he didn't
Um,
find that sooner. Because how many kids don't go under everything in the garage when they're children? And who keeps the spaceship in the shed? Like, I don't know how you didn't find that before.
because
That's those
you
good old fashioned
respect your parents. Dad told him not to go in there, so he didn't go in there. He had that respect for his
values.
parents.
Someone told
Um,
me not to go in there. I won't go in there 20 times more now. I'm like, oh, there's some grit in there. It is now my mission, and I'm gonna be a spy, and I'm gonna find out what it is. I guess I don't have those good old fashioned values. I know Boy
well,
Scout here.
as I say, curiosity killed the cat.
Satisfaction brought him back.
I'm so glad that you know that.
I know things. Just don't ask me anything about any numbers. Numbers just poof from my head. But I got
Okay.
sayings out the wahoo, and I could tell you a song from like 20 years ago, but
Hmm.
I still have to
Yes,
think
yes.
about my age sometimes. Well, I've reached that age where I have to think about it now. Oh, wow, you're 34 years old. It was a lot easier when I was 20. I was like, oh yeah, I'm 21. I'm never gonna forget that, baby.
I had a I had a song come across my feed the other day, and it said, "You know you're Gen X if you remember this," and it started playing, and I knew word for word, and it was from a commercial from like the '80s, and I'm like, "How did I know that?" Oh, it was the Pizza Hut commercial where the boy is playing right field. Um, and it's all about how he's just not paying attention and the ball comes. But it's a whole song written by Peter, Paul, and Mary. And as soon as the song came on, I knew every single word, and I hadn't seen that since Pizza Hut was great.
Make Pizza Hut great again. We
Pizza
have one
Hut
in
was
town, and they have
amazing. Nice. Oh, Pizza Hut was the greatest place to go. They had all the Ninja Turtle stuff. So whenever the Ninja Turtles came out, they got all the Ninja Turtle stuff. They used to have an arcade at the Pizza Hut. They used to have the salad bar that was awesome. Those red plastic cups that you would sit in, or you would sit in their booth and get. Oh, Pizza Hut was a place to go.
Oh yeah, and then they had that book program, and then they brought you
Mhm.
pizza, or you got to like go ride in a limo. I won that. I didn't win it all, but like I got to go. I was supposed to be able to go ride in the limo. Then I got sick that day. It was a very sad day.
Oh,
I
that
was
is a
like,
core memory.
this is devastating. I don't get to ride in the limo. I was like in third grade. That would have been real cool for me.
It's a core memory for you now with sadness.
Have you seen Inside Out 3?
Too? Yeah.
I just saw it too. It's so good.
It
I
is. It is.
definitely cried, which isn't saying a lot because I cry during most movies, even bad ones. But man, I was trying to tell my kid, like, this is you. This is what's happening in your brain right now. She's like, no, this movie is made for like 2 to 8 year olds. No, it's not. This is made for kids going through puberty. That's the age
Yep.
group. Whatever. You don't know anything. Excuse the fuck out of me.
I uh I walked out of the theater and I felt really bad about myself because I totally understood and empathized with anxiety. Like anxiety just totally nailed me. Like, oh my God, I understand that. Oh, okay. I understand that. Ooh. Yeah, I get that too.
Yeah, during the climax, I don't want to do any spoilers since it's still so new, but during that climax, where everything changed, that's when I cried. I was like, I know exactly how you're feeling, and it's horrible, and it's the worst, and I feel so bad that you're feeling. I'm tearing up right now.
Yep, yep.
Disney comes
It
out with
was,
some good movies still. People love to hate on Disney, but man, that was a good movie. But the
yeah,
first one
well,
was
that's,
also fan freaking tastic. So
yeah. I, it was, it's Pixar. I don't even
I
know
love.
if Pixar has written a bad movie. Um, when I was in high school, Toy Story 1 came out, and I went and watched Toy Story 1, and I fell in love with computer animation. And that's actually what I went to school for, was for computer animation at the Art Institute of, back then it was called the Colorado Institute of Art, and it's no longer a school. But it was the first year they had computer animation. I learned on Director 1.0 how to do little simple animations. Didn't do much with it after that, but yeah.
That's pretty cool.
So,
Yeah, Toy Story came out
Just
like at my age, like how Inside Out is coming out on her almost exactly on her age things. Because I remember Toy Story 3 is where he goes to college, right? Or
yeah,
I think
with
it's three.
Yeah, Lotso and the daycare.
I saw that my freshman year of college during orientation week. So it like exactly lined up. I was like, this just told. I thought it should have stopped there. I was like, this was the perfect arc, and it matched up with my life so well. And then they came out with this newest one, and I was like, this is stupid. Why is Buzz so dumb? Where's his good old American values? Him and Woody, put them together. They have good old American values.
Yeah,
Trying to pull it
friendship.
back into 4th of July.
It's the whole friendship aspect of things, and sometimes the best of friends start off as the worst of enemies.
Finding that common ground. They both
Yeah.
wanted to make Andy happy. They just had, well, it's not that they had different ideas on how to do that. It's that Woody was super jealous and Buzz was delusional. So, but they figured it out. They did it in the so on the topic of 4th of July, which entails fireworks, have you seen Disney's drone fireworks show?
I have none.
It's not fireworks, it's just a drone show. It
Uh,
is so good. I mean, I love when things go boom. I'm an American. We like when things explode. Uh, for positivity and colorfulness. It's like
uh,
all over.
uh,
But this drone show was so cool. You can't think of it as this is replacing fireworks. Like Disney, they still do fireworks, but it's the full blown shapes in the sky. Like they've had to spend a lot of money because it was fan freaking tastic.
nice. Is it like
Check it
on
out
YouTube?
if you haven't checked it out. Person watching me right now and us. There we go. I think I got it on the right side that time. Ah, go watch one of the shows. It's worth it. Don't
So
hate it because it's not
can you,
fireworks.
can you check it out on YouTube, or is it something you can share?
I'm sure it's all over YouTube. I'm sure it's all over everything. It just must not be in your algorithm because it popped up in my algorithm. But a lot of Disney stuff does because I love me some Disney. Also,
I think it,
about fireworks, on the Star Cruiser, they do a fireworks show. They did a fireworks show at the end. And it's like all digital fireworks. A lot of people were like, "Oh, this is way super cool." It's like real fireworks are cooler than this. I mean, it was fine. They made it look like it was fireworks in outer space, which doesn't make sense anyways, but the drones are way cooler.
I I love fireworks. I love the smell of fireworks. I love the looks of fireworks. I love the loud booms of fireworks. Um, it's tradition to, have your hamburgers, your hot dogs, your potato chips, potato salad, macaroni salad, um, fill up on foods, watch explosions. I mean, that personifies America in so many instances. It's not even funny, but a couple things I want to say to my fellow Americans out there, especially when it comes to the 4th of July. Number one, don't drink and drive. If you're gonna drink, drink, but don't drive. 4th of July is one of the highest fatality um, accidents of any year because fireworks don't start till late, and then it's dark. And there's a lot of people out going to go see the fireworks, and then there's drunk people, and they start running into each other. And it's just not a good thing. If you're gonna drink, don't drive. There are plenty of alternatives out there to do. Number two, cutoff is what, 11, maybe 11:30. You don't need to do fireworks till 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. Don't need to. Do it.
You
Excuse me.
don't need to do it. But I'm much more accepting of, as long as you're keeping it in to the 4th of July weekend, uh, do you boo. But can we not go for 3 weeks after? Because
Oh,
now you're just being a celebrate. Like bombs bursting in air. So we could see through the night that our flag was still there. But
okay. I'll
keep
make
it
that
keep it to
compromise with you.
the time
Do
period. The week, I get it. 4th of July is what it's on Thursday. That's
Thursday.
tomorrow. Well,
Tomorrow.
I
Yep.
don't know what day it is for you, but for me, it's tomorrow. Um, that means stop on Sunday. Sunday's the last day. That's more days than I would typically give, but because that makes it Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I get it. A lot of you are going to wait for the weekend. So just no more on
Agreed.
Monday. Save it for New
Agreed.
Year's.
There you
Happy
go.
New Year.
Well, we're in Colorado, so in order to get the good stuff, you got to go up north to Wyoming,
We
and
got
there's
a
a lot
bunch
of
of
people.
freaking fireworks for sale up here. Not like mortars, but better than they have down in like Colorado Springs or whatever. We got like, there's like 5 freaking fireworks tent up here in small town USA. And we're
We're
definitely not supposed to set off fireworks up here. Like well, luckily we have had a lot of rain. So that's been and that's made it so I had to go out and water my plants less, which has also been freaking fantastic. God bless America.
we're gonna go to the amusement park for Fourth of July. We're gonna do the Elitches and swim and ride roller coasters and eat funnel cakes and hot dogs and just be in the sun all day and have some fun.
We're going to
Elitches does it.
get on an airplane and fly to Utah tomorrow morning early. Our flight's at 5:30. So, gonna drive down and stay the night with my mom tonight, and then because I'm like 3.5, 4 hours ish from the Denver airport where I'm at. So
Wow.
since my mom lives in Colorado Springs, I'll go down there, stay the night with her, and then it's only like an hour and a half, 2 hours. But still, I have to be up so early. If my flight's at 5:30, you have to be there 2 hours before. Then you want to give yourself a buffer for parking. So I gotta get up at like 2 o'clock. No, because I
Wow.
got to count in the drive too. Like 1 o'clock, it's gonna be too early. It's what it's gonna be.
Yeah.
You can tell me to just sleep in the car, okay? Just that way I don't have to wake you up. It
To
won't
go
be
to
bad.
all places, Utah.
Mormon City, USA. I will be stone cold sober the whole time because the family we're going to visit are all Mormons. So they're not
Oh,
like judgy, but like it's a family hangout. I'm not gonna sit there and get drunk with people who don't drink. That would be uncomfortable. But we're gonna go see Frozen the musical, and we're gonna do a hike in Zion National Park. That's like through a river or something. But it's also supposed to be like 110 degrees, so I'm not
oh,
looking forward to that.
no.
But it's gonna be in a river. The hike is, and then the Airbnb has a lazy river, and I love
Well,
me a good lazy river.
and
Anything with
alcohol,
the
which
word
will not be there.
lazy river, lazy boy, lazy Susan, whatever, like all those things. Because
I
I
love it.
am the personification of someone who is lazy. Well, in my mind, I am. It's because I'm a procrastinator. It's not laziness, it's procrastination.
Which is a very good American value, right?
Procrastination. Your report's due the next day. Wait until midnight to start.
So I got through school.
Still get at least a B.
You get a B just for showing up to class every day. Occasionally answered your question. Oh man.
Occasionally.
So we've got the good side of the American personification. What are some of the negative aspects of the American personification?
The dark side of capitalism. You see plenty of these villains who work the system in a way that benefits them and hurts everybody else. I mean, let's just even some of them, a lot of them, I feel like the ones who personify that more are the ones who tend to go back and forth, where it's morality and greed just like Lex Luthor. Greed just consistent. He has morality. It's there, but his greed just kind of always
Yeah.
weighs it out.
How about like the anti-hero like Punisher, who ultimately had the worst tragedy happen to him. He lost his wife, his kids, his family, everything to a mob boss. So rather than taking the route of the American justice system, he takes out vigilantism.
I love anti-heroes for that reason. Well, okay. It's like a catch-22 here. I do believe that you need to let things go through the system. Like you are not a superhero should not be judge, jury, and executioner. Like that's but then there's villains like the Joker or other ones who for a fact they did this and they still keep slipping through the Joker might be a bad example of slipping through because he just escapes, but he should have been put to death forever ago. But like other ones, just kind of they keep slipping through the system, like Kingpin. They can't pin anything on him. Kingpin.
Uh,
I crack
King,
myself up. Yeah, and they slip through, and so I can see like that's when I'm on team anti-hero. But I would. That's why. First of all, that's why they're not a superhero because a superhero has to be held to higher standards, like
right.
Captain America and Superman. They need to be held up here. They need to be showing the American values, the goodness, justice, and then. But we need the anti-heroes for those ones who slip through the cracks, the ones who are going to be like, all right, they didn't punish you, Punisher. They didn't punish you, so I'm going to. And I'm going to determine what level of punishment you're going to get. You're going to die, or I'm going to beat the fucking shit out of you. And if you do it again, then you're going to die. So I know the justice system can be not optimal.
Well, Kingpin is a fantastic choice to bring up in this because Kingpin has been on trial, but Kingpin has so much money that he hires the best lawyers that he's able to actually skirt justice a little bit in this, which shows our legal system that if you have money, you can skirt the system. Um, and agreed, when you're poor, the poor are the one that get locked up. Poors are the ones that do, even if it's something minuscule like drugs. How many people were locked up because of marijuana in the 80s and 90s? But today people are looking back like, you were locked up for weed? What are you talking about? It's legal.
Or how you end up on the SA list for relieving yourself in public. I'm like, you shouldn't be doing that, but I don't know about having to get on the list for it. Like, but I guess it's to discourage people from being creepy.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well,
but then you have, with that example you were going with Kingpin and how he gets out of it because of his money. If you bring up the trials that are happening now, a lot of people are like, oh, these are all politically motivated. These people wouldn't normally get convicted of this stuff. It's like, well, those people might not normally get convicted of it. If I would have done either of those things, I definitely would have been convicted of it, and nobody would have given two craps about it. Like, so I'm on team. I don't care how rich you are or what's going on. If I would get in trouble for doing it, then you should also get in trouble for doing it. And not just because you have the money to buy your way out of it, now you're not in trouble for doing it now. You need to be in trouble just like the rest of us. I don't care if you're rich. You're using all these tax loopholes anyways. Let's go middle class and let's bring the lower class up.
Agreed.
Super class.
It, Nobody's above the law. I don't care who you are. There are no kings in America. There was never supposed to be a king. There was never intended or queen. Don't get me wrong. No kings or queens. No royalty in America. If you did the crime, you do your time. Period. If you are found guilty of your by a jury of your peers, you've got to do the time. It's just you're not a king. You're not an elected royalty. And I'm tired of people thinking that people are above the law for whatever reason. Uh, I don't know if we need to go into this right now because we might lose some
Well, I didn't want
listeners
to
in
go
it.
too
But
deep into it. But we don't need to stretch the divide anymore. But I think as a blanket statement for in general,
agreed. And
the
you've
dark
had
side
some
of
issues
America
lately.
becomes
You've had some people attacking you on your posts lately that have been like, I think you said it best, where if you don't agree with something, that's fine, but just scroll past it. You don't
yeah,
need to
that's something
engage.
I feel like people have to learn because that's not something that we didn't grow up with that. A lot of the older generations, I guess they're older now. I hate that we fall into the older generations. Um, we didn't grow up with social media. We didn't learn about scrolling on. We grew up with people telling people when what they were saying was wrong, and not always in the nicest way. I don't. Maybe not everyone grew up that way. I grew up in a lot of military towns, so it was a lot of you're fucking retarded. Like, no, that's stupid, or wow, you sound dumb. So we carried that over into the social media world, and the problem is people like to talk about how America is going downhill or whatever. We're not going to go too far into that or anything, but I think one of the biggest problems with the increase in violence in our country is because people are getting fed so much negativity online. Like, if you're scrolling past someone, if they're not infringing upon your rights, then you don't need to be a bully to them. It's one thing to like debate with someone and have an open discussion, but when you feel like you are commenting to put someone else in their place or knock them down a peg, you are now part of the problem. It's not your job to police other people's actions. You don't, and the other thing is, the more you comment and interact with that type of thing, the more that you're going to see that type of thing. And it's not only hurting, like those comments, they don't hurt me. They go right over my head now. Like, I am not bothered because I get them all the time, so often, for so long. So I just laugh at them and move on. I'm like, wow, what a sad, strange little man. But that's affecting the person who's posting these too, because you're just feeding off this negativity and then you're getting in an argument and you're getting the attention you want, I guess, but it's negative attention. And if you're still miserable, it's because you're seeping yourself into this anxiety inducing stuff. And I did the same thing. I was like, oh wow, that's a well, I didn't say it so bluntly like that, but I was clearly saying something in a way that sounded nice and constructive, but I definitely didn't mean it that way. And it took me a while to realize that that was just causing me problems, and
Mhm.
that poor other person doesn't deserve to be berated because of whatever stupid thing that they did. Like like the cultural appropriation stuff. It went from something that was for a positive thing and has just exploded into this whole thing of policing other people. I'm like, no, you should not steal things from other people's countries and then try to sell them again. No, you that is what cultural appropriation started out as. Like you were literally stealing something and making a profit off of it. It is not cultural appropriation when I dress up as a character who happens to be a different race than me. I'm not over here painting my face, okay? Like that would not be okay. But I'm not doing that. I'm literally putting on clothes. Come on. Come on, guys. Mind your business.
It's I'm going to equate this to the whole Star Wars and the Acolyte thing right now. The Acolyte got so much negativity before it even came out because of who the director was, because of what was being told on things, because of, I don't know, there's not enough men or it's led by women. I don't know, but it had all this negativity before it even came out. And the first episode came out, and there was this building of negativity, 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 negativity. And it's like, the show is really good. I'm enjoying these characters. I'm enjoying the story. I'm loving it for Beyond the Skywalker saga. Oh, look, Cortosis. They actually showed Cortosis on the freaking screen. That's only been in the comic books. Who is this character? Oh, is he a Ren? Is he the first Ren? Is he a Sith? What's going on? Holy crap, is that Kai Mundi? Why is Kai Mundi showing up? Ooh, maybe Kai Mundi is a dirty Jedi because he didn't do this. And all the people are like, you're shying away from George Lucas's vision. And it's like, you know what George Lucas's vision was to you people out there? $3 billion. Period. He did
He
not
chose to
pay.
sell it to Disney, and now it has switched to a different image, and people just are not letting go. And even I don't feel like there's a whole lot of wokeness that's being shoved down my throat in this show. Star Wars has always been pretty open as far as sexuality goes. Like there's cross species going on here. Like it is a very big universe. So a cult of lesbian witches, and you don't even know that all of them are lesbians. Only you know that the main two are, but still, like a cult of female witches isn't a far stretch. I could see that here on our planet, let alone somewhere in the whole giant universe. So many
Nice.
people, they're making Star Wars gay. Star Wars already has plenty of of diversity within that. And then they were complaining, there's not enough white people in this. I saw people say that. I'm like, why are you limiting all the white? Like, I didn't even notice that because there were so many aliens. Like, there's diversity when you're in a big giant universe, you guys. It's a wide, wide world.
Well, it's getting to the point where people are starting to think it's real life. It's a made up world. It's a made up universe. None of it is real. It is a space fantasy and it's stories. If you don't like the story, move on. Don't sit
You
there
don't
and
have to watch the show. You don't have to see it. Like I was not a big fan of Andor. I'm gonna have to go back and watch it again for my timeline go through, but it's not one where I'm like, uh but I loved The Mandalorian. And so if you don't like it, not everything has to be targeted at you. They need to bring in more people that aren't just that core audience so they can continue to grow. And I feel like this
well,
show is a great jumping off point because one, you don't have to know anything about anything.
Right.
Maybe you need to know that the Jedi are the one with the lightsabers and the Sith have red sabers. Even though I still don't think, well, so I haven't seen the new one, the newest one that came out yesterday, but from based on the ones before that, even when he said he was a Sith, he said it in such a way where I was like, I don't think he actually knows what a Sith is. So,
Mm,
I mean,
mm,
I love the mystery of it. I'm so curious for what happens next, and that's what a good show is for me. For me. If you don't like it, that's okay. You're allowed to not like it and you're allowed to complain about not liking it. But so many people have been like, you're not even a Star Wars fan if you like this show. Or,
mm.
oh, you're stupid if you like this show. It's like, well, I guess I'm stupid then because I am enjoying it. And I'm not sponsored in any way. So I'm telling the truth.
I equate this to a buffet. And let's say this buffet has so many different offerings, and you really like meat and you really like the potatoes, but you don't like the chicken. Are you going to try and shut down the whole buffet because you don't like the chicken?
That's a great metaphor.
Well, and then there's people who like the chicken. Are you going to be like, why do you like that chicken? That chicken's gross. And they're going to be like, no, this chicken is great. I don't like that meat. Why are you eating that meat? Oh, no,
Well,
this
I
is
would
steak.
totally
Steak is
say
good.
that to someone at my table, though. I'd be like, "Why are you eating that chicken? It's gross." And then they're gonna say it's gross, and then we're not gonna sit there and fight about how gross it is. Because I'm like, "Well, if you like it, that's good on you then. I guess that makes sense why they have it. Because some people do like it."
Exactly. Exactly. And some people like to mix their mashed potatoes with their spaghetti, and that's fine.
What? Do you mix your mashed potatoes with your spaghetti?
Yes. Only at a buffet. Only at a buffet.
I've
When I
never
go to the
heard that
buffet.
ever in my life. What?
Oh, when I go to a buffet, I get spaghetti with the spaghetti sauce and the mashed potatoes with the gravy and the green beans and the corn, and that's one plate. Yeah.
Oh, but like, so they're on the same plate, but do you like mix the
Oh,
spaghetti into the potatoes
oh no, no,
on
no, no, no,
purpose?
no, no,
Oh,
no, no.
well, yeah, of course, at a buffet, you have a bunch of different stuff on your plate. I thought you were mixing your spaghetti inside of your potatoes. And I was like, well, I mean, I guess if you don't have any gravy and your potatoes are dry,
No, but
okay,
the gravy does
that's
seep into the noodles, and the spaghetti sauce does seep into there. So I mean, they kind of get mixed up together. I'm not one of those people that are like nothing can touch, but I'm not going to. I'm not going to complain about the buffet if I like 9 out of 15 things to try and get the buffet to shut down because their silverware is. I don't know.
even if you only like 3 out of 15 things, you're still liking those 3. I don't watch every show on Netflix. I don't watch every show on anything. Like it's okay to skip some. It's not like it's an integral part of any major if you're not into the High Republic, and even then, like it doesn't. The only right now, at least, the only connection with the books is Vernestra, and she's 100 years older. But hey,
Exactly.
what else can we say about America? Because we're almost done.
We are almost done. Um,
Hmm. Be positive. God bless America, land that I love.
America was founded on a document we call the Constitution. And the Constitution was written in a way that it could change, evolve over time. Our founding fathers didn't want to have a country that was founded on any particular set of religious documentation, values, culture, times. They knew that the times were going to change. They knew that people were going to evolve. And they knew if they had a country where you had that freedom, that you're not going to be persecuted because you say uh, King James is an asshole. You're not going to be persecuted for saying that. When they wrote it, they would have been. We value those as a country. However, if you value those as a person, you have to value those for all people. It doesn't matter if you agree with them or you disagree with them. It doesn't matter if you like what they're doing or don't like what they're doing. Do not try to elect a king, a dictator. Do not try to take rights and freedoms away from a minority group because you don't like it. Do not intentionally go out of your way to hinder somebody else's existence because you don't like it. That's what the Constitution, that's what the 4th of July means. Respect your fellow Americans.
See, so we're saying what the 4th of July means to us. To me, uh, so we have the national anthem, obviously, and one time, I don't remember how old I was. It was the line, like I said it earlier, bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there, which is why I don't have a huge problem when people are shooting off the fireworks because it's reminding me of that part of the song. It's like, we are still free. We are able to express ourselves how we want to. And I feel like the 4th of July is about celebrating that freedom that we have. We have the freedom to do and be whatever we want. And if you are someone who is trying to step on that for other people, then you are the one who is being un-American. I can be whatever I want to be, do whatever I want to do, and as long as it doesn't infringe upon the rights of someone else, then it is nobody else's business. Unless I mean, I make a lot of my business other people's business, and that's fine. There was one post on my page, and they were like, "Stop mixing politics with cosplay." Like, I am not a company who is here to please people. I am not a the customer is always right. I am here to be me. And there are plenty
Mm.
of people who like me for who I am, and I have the freedom to be able to say what I want to say. And if you don't like it, you have the freedom to move on. And unfortunately, you also have the freedom to be a douchebag. So you should celebrate America because that's why you get to be a douche. And that's why you get to see women in skimpy little costumes because I have the freedom to do that.
Exactly.
America, happy
Exactly.
birthday.
The Constitution is above the Bible. People tend to forget this. It should be country first. Freedoms. Do whatever religion you want. Do whatever makes you feel good about yourself. Just don't infringe upon other people. Don't. It's okay. They're not affecting your life. And you trying to end it makes you look. Do you know the Greek alphabet? What is it? Alpha, beta, delta, gamma. So we'll say gamma. You're not an alpha. You're not a beta. You're not a delta. You're a gamma. If you try to infringe on people, trying to change, take away other people's rights. And complaining on social media about Star Wars being woke makes you look below that. I wouldn't even say Omega because Omega sounds cool. Just Enjoy it.
Captain America would have enjoyed it. No, no, maybe not. Spider-Man. Spider-Man would have enjoyed it because he likes Star Wars.
He does. He
And Nick
does.
Fury would
Remember
have
that
enjoyed
movie?
it. He is Star Wars.
Agreed. All right, Wilder.
So if
Well,
these all
that does
American
our
heroes would have a good day, you should have a good day too. Happy 4th of July.
happy 4th of July, everybody. And this is the last day that somebody will be without 10 fingers or 10 toes because it is inevitable that tomorrow somebody out there is going to lose at least one limb.
I was
Don't
so
let that be
confused. I
you.
was like, are you going into surgery? Are you getting a toe removed?
Nope.
Whew, I got it now.
Fireworks, blow your hand off. So be careful out
Got it.
there. Enjoy. Drink in moderation. Have fun. Be safe. And to our international people, thank you for enjoying our show for the 4th of July. Um, one day you're going to come over and experience it because it is loud, it is bright, and it is fun.
Bye.
Take care, everybody. Happy 4th.